everyone, this is Khulekani Magwaza from South Africa, and I'm a volunteer in my church, which is ELCSA, and I'm a council member in the Lutheran World Federation. Thank you for listening to me. I want to talk to you about the climate crisis, which is the reality of climate change. The issue of climate change is something that I personally describe as a political and ethical issue. And I'm saying that because I think we have enough of climate science that informs us about what climate change is, that tells us about what possible solutions thereof could be. But we don't have enough ambitions to put those solutions into action. And as a result, the impact of climate change, they are becoming more and more dangerous for our environment, for our people, and for this planet Earth. So that is the climate crisis. How does it relate or links to the topic of transforming education? One of the elements of transforming education is inclusiveness. And what climate crisis does is that it creates imbalances between the people and between the communities. How so? South Africa can be an example. There was a time where Cape Town, one of the biggest cities in South Africa, was running out of water. And it was said that it was approaching day zero. But the reality or the fact of the matter is, already by 2015, if not 2012, where the national government declared drought as a national crisis, already by that year, many areas in rural areas, many cities in rural areas had already reached day zero. They had already run completely out of water. But what kind of imbalances that is that when Cape Town was reaching day zero, there was a lot of attention to that city. And there was less attention in rural areas to the people who had already run out of water. And what happened in Cape Town is that they could mitigate the situation. But in rural areas, they could not mitigate the situation. That is the imbalance that the climate crisis is creating. So if you're thinking about transforming education, talk about the people who, because what drought and water scarcity causes is food insecurity, among many other things. There are people who go to school without food because they cannot mitigate that situation. So that's how the climate crisis links to inclusiveness, the topic of transforming education. Now, how does it affect the lives of the youth today? The climate impacts go to an extent where it creates more unemployment, and it creates more issues of sustainable future, which the youth is always concerned about. But one major thing that is not yet being spoken about a lot is the long-lasting effect of the climate crisis, the trauma. Remember, in 4 months ago, in April this year, there was Cyclone Idai, Cyclone Kenneth, and weeks after there was floodings in my region, South Africa, in KZN, which claimed 71 lives and destroyed properties. You imagine the trauma that it has in our lives, the long-lasting traumas. We think about this. Imagine being told that Cyclone Idai is coming your way, that the flooding is coming your way. It's going to kill you, it's going to possibly kill you, or it's going to destroy your property, and it does come and it does do that. Imagine that trauma. Imagine thinking about the future. Imagine thinking about that we don't have the means to mitigate this situation, and it can come again because there is no enough ambition to solve the crisis, the climate crisis. That's the major impact that it has in our lives in reality. How will we address this issue? We need to talk about it more. We need to raise awareness. We need to make sure that we push our governments to take climate action to mitigate the situation, talking about low carbon development and also talking about creating a resilient community or a resilient society. That is the responsibility that we have as the people of God. God bless you all. Thank you.